Benefit overpayments are thrusting people into debt. The Department for Work and Pensions Mistakes are leaving people struggling and wondering how they're going to miraculously find this money to pay back. £600 million worth of errors were made between 2022 and 2023. These deductions are then taken out of future payments and benefits. Claimants rely on a set amount to live off and pay the bills every month, and this is leaving them short. The big issue encouraged people to tell a few of their personal stories. Yvonne wrote in to say her and her husband had awful problems with HMRC because there were mistakes made with his pension. Yvonne was off sick and her husband was advised to claim carer's allowance. Even though he didn't get any money, it made him eligible for other things. Despite the fact they made DWP aware of any changes, they were insistent that the married couple were receiving the correct amount. This was swiftly followed by demanding and threatening letters telling them that they owed money. It made the married couple ill, so they went to a debt advice service and they did everything they could. They did manage to get the figure down, but they still had to pay back £20 every month. Matthew said he finds it strange that these mistakes happen to so many parents and single parents. He's a single parent and went on to say that it's really scary that it has the potential to happen. Matthew said that single parents are the most vulnerable of society and that they have the greatest responsibilities for the next generation. In some cases, even the allegations of debt are incorrect. A single mum who spoke to The Big Issue was falsely accused of owing the DWP more than 12 grand. Penny Davis was told that she'd been paid too much in universal credit and had to return that money to the DWP or it'd be taken from her wages. In reality, the DWP actually owed her more than 2 grand, which she still hasn't received. A widowed mum, Vicky Reid, faced a similar situation when she was hit with a £21,000 bill by the DWP after an error with her universal credit payments. She's a PhD student and the DWP had made the mistake of treating her stipend as a postgraduate loan. Vicky said that she was in shock when she got the letter. She knew how much it was going to change her life. She can't study full-time now or get the full rate of funding for a PhD. It's added extra pressure on top of the grief, and she's got a young boy to look after who's in primary school. These are all real stories, but what is the solution? If these mistakes are human errors and they're made by the DWP, then why are innocent people who simply can't afford to pay back this money suffering? A DWP spokesperson said that a human will always be involved in the decision-making process. But in my personal opinion, this is worse because how do they not see how it's affecting people? If the DWP claims that you've been overpaid and you want to challenge their decision, then you can ask for a mandatory reconsideration. Ask them for a written statement of the reasons for the overpayment. You also have the opportunity to appeal a benefit decision to the tribunal. You need to do this within a month of getting your mandatory reconsideration decision. The appeal is decided at a tribunal hearing, and if you win, the DWP should carry out the tribunal's instructions straight away. But if you lose, you may be able to consider a set-aside on procedural grounds, but only if it's in the interests of justice to do so. It's best to speak up to the DWP the moment you notice anything different or if your circumstances change.